Oh man, that coffee is good. Wow, that's strong. Woo! We do have a cup of coffee in hand, folks. We went to bed early, and now we're back here with the Bald Brad Show, where we break down all the news. We are a conservative podcast, but we make sure we packaged everything in an hour-long podcast that you need to know about heading into your work day, your work week, heck, or the weekend, because it is a Friday episode. This episode is sponsored by baldbrad.com. If you haven't gone over there yet, what are you doing? It's our website. Again, we are a conservative podcast about breaking news, politics, and culture, but it's not just a website. We have a blog that you can go to and read about where we use statistics on, why Zohran Mamdani is a threat to the United States, but also a threat to New York City. Now, is he really a threat? Not really. It depends how you want to use that word. I'm not saying any harm should be brought upon this guy. I'm saying, he's going to be a problem for New York. I hope he gets in, though. And I really do genuinely mean that. I hope that guy wins because I want to see what happens with New York and socialist ideas. And, we also have a book called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. A lot of people are actually buying this up. So thank you to everybody that's supporting us. Always greatly appreciate your love and kindness that you not only donate your hard-earned money over here on the donation tab up at baldbrad.com, but you go ahead and buy the book. And speaking of that, if you go ahead and donate, make a difference, you can do a custom amount. Some of you do $2 a month, which is greatly appreciated. Some people do 50, some people do 100, do 1,000, be crazy, be silly. But good morning. Thank you again for supporting me. Head over to baldbrad.com for all of that. And with that being said, we got some news here. We got the government still shut down. Now, I believe it was on Donald Trump's first term where the government was shut down, I think, for 35 days. You also have another deadly synagogue attack. And then Leonardo DiCaprio's new political movie is in the works. So we'll make sure we bring that to all of you. Let's start now. We have the government shutdown enters its third day as the blame game continues. And President Donald Trump threatens mass firings of federal employees. Some are saying these mass firings could happen as soon as today. Now, the White House wants to make the shutdown about health care funding for illegal immigrants. It says the Democrat proposal would result in $200 billion in subsidies going to non-citizens over the next decade, primarily through Medicaid and mandatory emergency care. I would like to point out that if you do the math, it comes out to close to $1 trillion every 4 years for illegal aliens. $1 trillion every 4 years. So, folks, if you just removed that from the spending, we could start chiseling away at this thing pretty good. Well, the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt said Trump ran on the promise to end taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal aliens, and tens of millions of Americans voted him back to this beautiful White House to implement that promise. And now Democrats want to undo it, and they're holding our country hostage. It's such a weird phenomenon that you see amongst the Democrat Party where they believe Trump when he says things, but then on the other hand, they don't believe him when he says things. So I'll give you a prime example. Trump loves to troll them. Just yesterday, I think he had Joaquin Jeffries in the Oval Office. And you know what he did? He had like two MAGA 2028 hats looking directly at him, and he was laughing about it. So Gavin Newsom, Hakeem Jeffries, and the rest of the Democrat Party are freaking out because he's going to go against the Constitution. He's going to run for a third term, even though he's not. Even Caroline Leavitt has answered that question. He's not going to do it. It's trolling them. So they'll believe him when he does things like that. But then when he makes campaign promises, well, then they're not going to believe him. And then their minds are blown when he gets in there and he's like, but what is he doing? How could you do this? He's like, I told you I was going to do it. Like, what are you talking about? I literally told you I was going to do this. Well, the White House says the United States will lose $15 billion in GDP revenue each week the shutdown drags on, and it wants to ensure Democrats bear the blame, posting news clips on social media describing National Guardsmen going unpaid, food assistance for low-income single mothers drying up. So they're trying to show and portray and pull at the heartstrings of Democrats and Americans because most Americans are empathetic, as we should be. But there's a great phrase that says empathy in politics is harmful. Because you're always going to benefit somebody else, but what's that other group that you're not benefiting? That tends to be what happens. Also, you can make irrational decisions doing that. You have Trump's is targeting non-essential federal employees for termination. Again, that is expected to happen today, if not starting next week. Well, there's also another attack here on a synagogue. So here we go. Let me wet my whistle really quick. Hit that like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing, folks. And by the way, thanks for everybody writing in the chat. We have the best crew on social media. I know every influencer says that, but I'm not an influencer, and we do have the best community on the internet. People literally brag about our chat in other people's chats. Just gonna say, I do a lot of lurking on other people's podcasts, and our name has been brought up a few times, folks, in a positive way. So thank you. A knife-wielding man targeted a synagogue in Manchester, England on Yom Kippur, which started yesterday, I believe, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. The UK's counterterrorism police have deemed the attack a terrorist incident. Authorities first received calls at about 9:30 a.m. local time about a man driving a vehicle into pedestrians outside the Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue. The suspect, identified as, well, I'm not even going to bother saying that guy's name, geez, a 35-year-old British citizen who is a Syrian descent. Is there a common theme here that we're seeing? Is there a common theme? I think so. Then got out of his vehicle and began stabbing people around him. Notice, because the UK is really harsh on guns, what do they use now over there, folks? Shib's people, we love Shib here. This is not an attack on Shib. Shib's people love to use knives. So are we going to ban knives now? In the same way, he was using a car to go into pedestrians. How many times have we seen that here in the United States? Not just around the world. So should we ban cars? It's weird how it's always banning firearms for all of us that are law-abiding citizens. But when the conversation goes, well, should we ban knives and cars? Oh, of course. How could you? That's not an apples to apples comparison. How could you? Okay, well, let's do an apples to apples, because they always love to say, well, firearms are the leading cause of death for children nowadays. It's like, well, that depends on what age you start at, and why are they the number one? You know, a lot of people self-delete by accident with firearms because they get their hands on it, blah, 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 all these things, which is terrible when young kids pass away in any regard. But what about drugs? Drugs kill a lot of people. A lot of people just delete stuff. They go sleepy bye. So that's if you don't go, I believe if you don't go guns, I think it goes drugs next for kids. Should we get rid of drugs now, folks? Why? Why not? That's a pretty apples to apples comparison. Well, the suspect was shot and killed, thank God, by police 7 to 8 minutes after authorities were first called. This is a lifetime of waiting for police. And I'm not blaming the police officer, man. It takes time between when something happens to when they get there. That's the whole purpose of you having a firearm and concealing that bad boy, so that if some psycho out there, some lunatic, starts to go crazy and acting like a lunatic, well, you can delete the guy really quick. And that way, instead of 7 or 8 minutes of people getting deleted left and right and stabbed or shot, doesn't matter. Well, you show up, you put a few in his chest and one in his head. Or you have a little bit of fun after and you empty the magazine on him. One or the other. Now, you know what's wild when I made that statement? You empty the magazine on him. Do you know what? You know who would complain about that? How that's rude. You shouldn't do that. You can't treat people like that. Oh my God, how you went too far. So hold on a sec. The left would say that, by the way. That's exactly what the progressive left would say. But hold on, the guy that's stabbing people in the neck, stabbing people left and right, deleting people, I'm supposed to treat that guy nicely. This is what the left. They're not with us, man. These people are crazy. Well, over here in LA, and I'm sure around you, maybe, a lot of people are talking about Leonardo DiCaprio's movie. Now, I'm part of the Screen Actors Guild. I am a SAG member. It's also why I hear a lot of this stuff. And not that I have to vote, but, you know, I do vote in the Screen Actors Guild. So when you guys see the SAG Awards, I vote in that. Well, a new film celebrated director Paul Thomas Anderson starring Leonardo DiCaprio is earning high praise from critics and solid numbers at the box office, but it's also stirring up debate about its potentially polarizing political themes. National Review contributor joined Morning Wire to discuss the film One Battle After Another. This film is about a book that is Thomas Pynchon's Vineland. Essentially, it's a story about a bunch of radicals who have gotten burned out, have attempted to attack government installations and institutions using violence. Now they are being hunted. So is it satire, right? You've got radicals on one side, and then on the right, you're having a bunch of racist, autocratic thugs essentially coming after them who are part of the paramilitary organization that is also tied, by the way, to a secret society of races called the Christmas Adventure Club. So is it a political movie? I think the film's political sympathies are obviously with the progressive left. At the same time, though, I wouldn't necessarily call it a political movie. I would look at it more as an Antifa Star Wars, as a friend told me, where the politics and the radicalism is kind of used as a vehicle to tell a father-daughter story. You have the burnt-out dad who spends all day smoking weed and watching the Battle of Algiers, I don't know what the hell that is, bringing up a young daughter who's a teenager now. It's entirely by himself, and he's having a hard time communicating with her. There are very funny general conflicts, as tends to happen with those who have kids nowadays, starting to figure out. Has anybody seen this movie in the chat? Let us know what you give it. Is it good? Is it bad? What should we be looking for here? I might check it out. I'm one of those that I could separate my mind from somebody's political viewpoints when I'm watching a movie. Like, does it seep in every now and then? Like, oh yeah, this is Rachel Ziegler. Yeah, I know her beliefs. But other than that, like, if something's good and they're acting, I could still watch it. It's fake. It's not supposed to be real. So same thing with Leonardo DiCaprio. The guy's an amazing actor. I don't believe him. I just don't believe him on global warming. I think he's a hypocrite. But I can still watch it. The same thing with Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. When both of them start going off about transgender people and like transgender rights, even though they have rights, nobody's trying to take away their rights. Nobody wants to take away their rights. If they want to have that right to lop off their genitals and think that they're something that they're not, that's them, man. I think that's mentally ill. I think that's deranged. I think that's not reality, but they have the right to do it, and go ahead and do it. I don't think you should, but I'm not going to stop you. I'm a libertarian on that stuff, man. I want the government to stay out of my life. I want you to leave me the hell alone. I'll leave you the hell alone. I'm not going to force anything upon you other than you forcing, following the law that's on the books in the same way that I would have to. Just want to be left alone. So I could separate that. So when I see Harry Potter, yes, I know Hermione Granger is a trans activist, but I can separate it. It ain't going to bother me. So I'll probably check this movie out and let you guys know how it is. So if you don't want to sacrifice your time, I'll sacrifice it for you. I'm such a good guy. Brad, you're such a good guy, man. Go down the way so I don't have to watch it. I'm teasing. I'm being a smart ass. All righty. Well, there's that. Those are like we always start off with like the the big news headlines of the day. And then we kind of get into the nitty gritty here. And there's a U.S. in armed conflict with terrorist drug cartels that's been ongoing. And the president has determined that the United States is in an armed conflict. Now, I don't know if this had a little bit to do with the Pete Hegseth, with the Quantico meeting with like the 800 generals or military service members. I think there was more to that meeting than what was shown to all of us. I don't think it was about, trim your beard and mustache, look clean, new PT standards. I obviously that was a thing, but I think there was also another meeting that we're not aware of. It's not a common thing to just round up 800 guys like that. I know JD Vance said it. That's a BS statement. It is not normal to gather 800 of the top brass in one room like that and bring them all to one area with the president of the United States and then the Secretary of War. It's just, by the way, it's also a little odd that they changed the name of Secretary of Defense to Secretary of War. I understand that's what it used to be called, but it kind of perks you up. The next thing I want to look at, and I want you all to be aware because they'll do this crap subliminally. Do you know how the eagle on the presidential crest is pointed towards the olive branch right now? And then on the other hand are the arrows. During a time of war or conflict, depends, that head will shift from the olive branch to the arrows on the presidential seal. And they will swap out the carpet in the Oval Office in the White House during times of severe conflict or war. So those are little subtle things that you can look at. They might not mention it, but they tend to do that. So that's my next look, man. If they switch that eagle, that tells me everything I need to know. By the way, thank you, Donnie. Donnie says, do I have that right? Hold on a second. Donnie says, Brad, you have one of the best channels. You are a smart teacher. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think I'm smart, but thank you. I will take the compliment nonetheless. I think I'm an idiot, but thank you. That's very kind of you. You guys are smarter than me. I will always say that. I'm just the guy that likes hanging out with y'all. That's all. By the way, if you haven't gotten a mug yet, what are you guys doing? That's my mug. And by the way, it's not just that. If you're left-handed, oh boy. I mean, this alone is going to trigger the liberals. Sorry, you got a little, at least you know I drink coffee, right? But oh, this is so thick. It's so good. That's what she said. The memo reportedly sent this week said the American military remained ready to eliminate drug smugglers and that the country was at a critical point requiring the use of force. It comes as the Trump administration has conducted multiple strikes on boats. And thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. I've been calling for this for 4 freaking years on my show to start blowing these guys out of the water. Now, granted, it was going towards the Houthis, meaning actual terrorists. But if you want to sell drugs, that's going to delete thousands of Americans. We just saved thousands of Americans by blowing your ass out of the water. It comes as the Trump administration has conducted multiple strikes on boats, the president said, were filled with narcotics or narco terrorists bound for the United States. I would imagine they have somebody in there that confirmed this before you just go blow some ship out of the water. I mean, that could have been a guy and his son just out there for a weekend vacation. Like, Daddy, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for finally taking me out of school. I couldn't wait for this. Boom, boom. I doubt that happened. Now, if you're Barack Obama, something very similar to that scenario has happened. Yes, Barack Obama killed a bunch of Americans with a missile. You can look that one up yourself, and everybody remembers it, but a lot of people forgot about it. The president determined these cartels are not state-armed groups, designated them as terrorist organizations, and determined that their actions constitute an armed attack against the United States. In response, based upon the cumulative effects of these hostile attacks against the citizens and interests of the United States and friendly foreign nations, the president determined that the United States is a non-international armed conflict with these designated terrorist organizations, meaning a lot of boom booms are going to happen. And it was very smart for them to blast that all over social media, utilizing the White House X page, because that goes out to everybody. And that got millions and millions of hits saying, you want to F around? Well, you're going to find out with that one. Do not bring narcotics to the United States to delete Americans. And if you want to see what narcotics does to people, maybe you have a family member already, just come here to California and hit LA County, and you are going to see fentanyl and people on drugs. 100% guaranteed. I pass by people doing the fentanyl crawl. Literally, I will pass by them in less than an hour every morning. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You got Tren de Aragua taking place. Another strike was conducted on September 15th. So that was the last one we saw. But again, shout out to Trump for making America safe again. And shout out to Tom Homan and the rest of the people in the Trump administration for doing a great job. We've been begging for this. We've been praying. Folks, to be fair, we've been praying about this for years, right? We've been praying to have President Trump back in office to bring sanity back to this country, but also to make this country safe again. Why are we putting up with this crap of all this crime taking place? Like, I think we've all had enough of it. And by the way, Democrats and Republicans, why are we dealing with these psycho progressives out here violently assaulting all of us? And they violently assault Democrats too. And sometimes it's a wake-up call for some of these Dems to go into these protests with Antifa and Black Lives Matter and get their you-know-what beat down. And then they realize, like, well, I'm on your side, guys. They don't care. You're not on their side. No, you're not. They eat their own. So if you at any moment go against their beliefs, their ideology, and I always said, the progressive left are more religious than any other religious people out there, anybody of faith, they will beat you down. They will spit you out. It's like gang members. You know what I mean? When you want to leave the gang, oh, well, you got to pay a price. That price is either your life or it's you getting beat down. Something. Well, we got more news here. People are getting arrested still in the United Kingdom. And I would say the UK has fallen, my friends. The UK is gone. It's not what it used to be. And people are freaking out because, let me see if I can actually find an article on this for you real quick. People are freaking out over there because they've implemented that digital ID. And people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to use it. You know, they're trying to find a way to get around it. And so what they did over there, they said, well, if you don't want to use a digital ID, guess what? You ain't going to work. I mean, okay, well, now that's a little bit of a different story, is because you got to make some moolah. Digital ID UK. You got to make some moolah here. This is what people are posting about right here. The UK government dismisses 3 million signature petitions, commits to digital ID rollout. Look, I'm going to call it now. If you think this isn't coming to the United States, oh boy. I'm going to say you're wrong, but that's okay. The UK government dismisses 3 million, okay, because people responded to a petition that urged abandonment of a national digital ID scheme by affirming plans to introduce this parliamentary term. The voluntary phone-based system targets citizens and residents aged 16 and older, becoming mandatory for employment checks by 2029 to address illegal migration and streamline public services. Critics cite privacy concerns and the policy's absence from Labor's 2024 manifesto, while public support has dropped sharply and cross-party MPs vow resistance. The silly thing here is people cite privacy concerns. The internet is the freaking wild, wild west still to this day. There's still some regulations in there. By the way, in the wild, wild west, there was still some sort of enforcement. I mean, we all seen it, right? The sheriff's walking. He's like, with his little chains. Hello, Sheriff. How are you doing? What are you doing here, Tommy? I'm gonna shoot you. I don't know. It's really stupid. I don't know what I was doing there. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was like you try to do things. Some things don't land. You look like an idiot. Well, that's the way we roll. So Labor has responded to the petition stating that digital ID will be introduced within Parliament. And there usually is. There was a clip here. Let me see if I could find it somewhere else. There was a clip of the government speaking, and it's right here. I knew I had it.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems. And that is why...
Crazy, man. It's crazy, but that's where we're going. And people are citing privacy. Yes, you have, some element of that, but let's be real. Everybody knows what you're doing on the internet. Marketing knows what you're doing on the internet. And I've shared that story where there was a young woman, a teenager, who came home. Her dad talked to her and said, "Hey, why are we getting all this pregnancy mail in? Are you pregnant?" She said, "No, I'm not pregnant. That's not a thing." And the dad goes, "Well, why for the last couple of weeks have we been getting this, last couple of weeks or last week? I can't remember. Getting all this pregnancy stuff in the mail. This doesn't make sense." Well, it turned out that she was in fact pregnant, and all these marketing firms, based on her search history, were able to determine that with a high degree of likelihood that because she was searching for things that were very similar to what actual pregnant women were searching as well, like early term pregnancy, that she was probably most likely pregnant. And it turns out she was. So these marketing firms knew her so well, and her search history and her behavior online so well, that they actually knew she was pregnant before she even was. So that's why, and that's an American story, by the way. So this whole idea of like, oh, well, they're not going to get me. They don't know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, folks. Sometimes we have to be real. And I think sometimes we put ourselves in a bubble to make ourselves feel safe. And I totally get that on a psychological level. But on a practical level, it ain't a thing. Oh, no. All righty. Well, there's a clip here that I saw this morning of Scott Jennings. Where you at, Scott? Here he is. We always have to do this. Now, it might not even segue into anything whatsoever. It just popped in my head of, oh, I saved and reserved a Scott Jennings clip for the Patriots. I haven't seen this myself, but Scott reminds me of the old deodorant commercial. Raise your hand if you're sure. At least hit a like for Scott. Okay. The man is a national treasure, single-handedly keeping CNN afloat. If they don't have Scott, do they have any ratings? I'm not so sure.
I don't understand why everybody's so mad. For time immemorial, Democrats have argued that it's good. It's good for illegal immigrants to get Medicaid. Every candidate for president in 2020 raised their hand for it. In the big, beautiful bill debate, they argued it was good policy. I can't believe there's an about-face in the Democratic Party on it today.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
We're just going to pause that really quick for a nice screen grab. But if you're on audio, this is the Democratic debate. And, well, you have Andrew. God, I forgot his last name for some reason. Andrew Yang. You got Pete Buttigieg. You got Joe Biden, who doesn't even look like this anymore. You got Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and a bunch of other people. And every single one of them in this clip has their hand raised. Not a single Democrat has their hand down. So this whole idea that they're still now they're starting to push, which is crazy. They did a complete 180 in the matter of a week, where now all of a sudden they aren't for illegal immigrants getting health care and all these government handouts and all this other stuff, even though we've literally spent the last 4 years watching them do it. So even if they say things with their mouth, their actions speak otherwise, because they're a bunch of liars, and that's what they do. They always lie. They like to flip words, switch words, and kind of manipulate the message.
Okay. I got a question for Karen, but Scott,
Aaron, all these government.
People who are in the country illegally also can't get Medicaid.
Sure
That's
they can.
federal law.
Sure they can.
They can't get Medicaid.
They also
Medicare,
can't register
CHIP,
to vote. They also
Obamacare
can't register to
subsidies.
vote, but we just found one in Maryland who was running the Des Moines school system.
Oh my God, one!
I mean,
Scott.
I'm telling you, you guys say these things can't happen,
I'm
and
just
then they
saying,
happen.
Scott, but I'm
Oh
just
my
saying
God,
it's federal
you're
law.
absurd.
And
You
they're
can
not
run
trying to
cover.
roll
You
back-
can run cover
they're not
for
trying
it if
to
you
roll
want,
back
but they
federal law.
do get federal
It's just
tax
the
money.
facts.
They get
But Karen,
federal
can I ask
tax
you-
money. Ask Jake.
Yeah.
He had it on today.
I'm just saying it's against
reimbursements to hospitals, some of which does go to undocumented immigrants using healthcare there to those hospitals. So
There you go. There you go. Tim Pool actually had a really great video, and I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but he starts it off at the beginning. And let me see if I can get that video for y'all really quickly. He actually posted a video talking about how they do, in fact, get this health care. Let me see if I can get that for you. Actually, you know what? It will be here. Hold on. But he's not wrong. He's actually correct. And let me see if I can find it. If I can't, then that's going to be brutal. But he was talking about really quickly how they can get that. Here we go.
Is in full swing. Democrats are apoplectic, blaming Republicans as Donald Trump gloats, for he has accomplished a win-win situation. Either they get to axe healthcare for illegal immigrants, keep the government open, or Democrats refuse, shutting the government down, and now Donald Trump has the unprecedented opportunity to axe Democrat agencies. He is tapping Russ Vought, who he says is of Project 2025 fame, once again triggering Democrats, to begin determining what is essential and what isn't, and then furloughing, laying people off. I mean, the sad reality is the government just doesn't have the money anymore to fund all of these federal agencies. Where do I get my Got What I Voted For Again award? Indeed. Now, Democrats are losing it because they're like, I thought Project 2025 was supposed to be fake. Trump denied it. It's a scandal. Listen, Donald Trump tapping Russ Vought does not mean literally everything from Project 2025 had something to do with Trump. But here's the reality of the shutdown. Democrats want to give illegal immigrants health care. Fact. Republicans said no. Democrats said, if you don't do this, we are going to vote no, and the government will shut down. Republicans laughed and said, okay, because we don't care. If you shut it down, we get to lay off all these people, furlough all these people, shut down all these agencies. We'll take it. Win-win, right? Now, the Democrats and the corporate press went on TV, and the liberals said that we're not trying to give health care to illegal immigrants. They're lying. This is what they always do. They use word games.
Yep.
Let
There
me
you
give
go.
you the reality
Listen
of
to
the
this.
situation. The ACA exemptions that Democrats want would extend healthcare benefits, government-funded healthcare benefits, to individuals who entered the country illegally but have asserted a right to be here. There's a big difference between someone here on a F1 or O1, like a legitimate visa, who might get healthcare, which why would we give them healthcare either? Fine. And illegal immigrants. Here's the way Democrats play the game. Someone crosses the border illegally, walks up to a border patrol agent, illegal immigrant, right? But they say, I'm going to claim asylum. And the border patrol agents, this is all under Joe Biden, would be like, okay, you're here illegally. Now we have to adjudicate your claim. They are not legally allowed to be here. It is a manipulation of the law and what people actually expect to happen in this country. Democrats argue those people are lawfully permitted. That's insanity. But fine. If you want to say, Tim, they're not subject to deportation, so technically they're lawfully permitted to be here, fine. Wouldn't it just be okay then if Democrats and liberals and the corporate press told you that's what they were arguing? Well, here's the reality. If you go to the average American and say, do you think individuals who enter the country illegally should get government-funded health care? They'd say, no. That's why Democrats are lying, manipulating the argument and saying, we don't want to do it. Chuck Schumer is like, not a single undocumented person will get access to ACA funding. Because as soon as the undocumented person, literally any person at any point, anywhere, who says, I'm a refugee. Now you're a legal immigrant.
That's how they do it. And that's how they game the system. And Democrats, they've always done that. Oh, we're not in a recession. And then they change the definition of what it's a recession. Oh, they're not an illegal alien. They're just, right to shelter people. Gotcha. Yeah, this is the stupid crap they play all the time. How could somebody be illegal? Because the law says they're illegal. That's how. That's how it works. And if you don't like what the law says, guess what you do? Well, you try to push to change the law. And that's something we grapple with as a society. If society says that they want to allow illegal aliens into this country, unfettered access, and given all their money, all your money to them, then that's what we have to do as a society. Doesn't mean I agree with it. There's a lot of things that we do as a society that I don't agree with, but that's here nor there. We also have a Cam Higbee, who has really gone viral since the Charlie Kirk assassination for going on college campuses. And for these next few videos, we're going to be showing how Antifa members and leftists and others are now still attacking conservatives. So let me get this straight. You have conservatives out there walking around doing events like this on college campuses or going to public places, interviewing people, just after one of our own got assassinated in cold blood, and we're told to bring down the temperature. So the people that are attacking other people, meaning the left, are attacking conservatives and Republicans. The left are telling us to bring down the rhetoric and cool things down, even though we're not the ones attacking anybody. So here he is being attacked by a psycho, a lunatic, a leftist, for just speaking. And as we watched yesterday on Dark MAGA, Steven Crowder spent $250,000 on security and armed security to speak, just speak at a public university. I think it was a public university, college campus. He had to have a bulletproof vest on. He had a pane of bulletproof glass in front of him. This is where we're at as a country, because we have to deal with these idiots, meaning the left.
Stop. Back the fuck up. DC right now. We're right outside of Union Station. We were sitting right up on those steps earlier, just kind of countering what's going on here. This is the anti-Trump tent. And a young black woman, showed up, and she began touching Lance and I. I gave her at least 4 verbal warnings not to touch me.
By the way, not that this guy would ever see my content, you should never allow anybody within like 3 or 4 feet of you like that, man. The reason why is because you don't know what they have on them. A knife, they could have some sort of substance on them. They could have, by the way, they could just have a little bit of fentanyl on them and you're dead. You should not allow anybody even remotely behind your table within a certain circumference. Hell, you could tape off a circle around your area with tape and say, if you step in this, my security is going to take you out and they're going to smush your face into this brick. Do not come near me. You're getting a warning.
She attacked me. So I pulled out mace and I deployed it against her. I got her in the face. And when I get maced, you guys know me. When I get maced, I walk it off because I'm not a baby. I've been maced repeatedly. I've been bear sprayed.
So you saw the incident there, and where is the person getting arrested right here? Here's the aftermath.
You're not Christians. You are evil, violent people, and you're not Christians. If you were Christians, why would you mace me in the eyes?
You attacked
maced me in the eyes. You are not Christians. You maced me. You people maced me Because you're fucking evil and you will get what you deserve. I mark it on my fucking grave.
You will get what you deserve. I will mark it on my grave. These are the people that we're supposed to deal with in society. This person will be let back out. And now this guy probably has to worry about this person showing up again and potentially deleting him.
Take video. Take all the video you need. You're evil people. You're not Christians. Take everything you need. Take the video. You are evil people. You are dread.
Back off that
You're
way.
evil people.
You have zooms on your camera. Back off.
You have committed a crime. You are violent. I'm sure it's on somebody's video right here. You can ask. You cannot.
They're not well, man. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you're saying, Brad, I know you say that all the time. They're not well, but we got to start doing something here. They're roaming around the streets, hitting people, hurting people. And it's just crazy. I mean, Nick Sorter, who we show a lot of his footage here, Nick Sorter was attacked by Antifa yesterday. And Portland PD is responding by, let's go to the chat here really quick. Antifa attacks Nick Sorter. So if you don't know who, let me just go to his channel really quick. If you don't know who Nick Sorter is, because some of you might be like, I don't remember, Brad. I need to put a face to the name. Nick Sorter is a guy that we show all the time here. It's this guy here. On scene covering stories the mainstream media won't. Seen on Tucker Carlson, Fox. Like, he has a big TikTok, Jesus Christ, Twitter channel. And sorry, I use the Lord's name in vain. I apologize. 1.2 million followers. Okay. This guy we show quite often. Well, he was attacked. He was the one arrested. Portland, because it's freaking hardcore leftist territory, arrests him, but not the people that attacked him.
Whoa.
It's crazy. So the good guy gets arrested. The bad guys, nothing happens to them. Isn't this wild?
Let me scan your body. I'll have a conversation with you. I'm just going to scan you further devices. It's universal precaution. We're going to have a conversation about a bigger picture here.
Lick my DUP? Dude, what a weirdo.
What a fucking loser.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, people around here don't realize they better pray to God than ask for that. What comes next, I wish I had.
This is just getting crazy. So let's go Nick Sorter. An Antifa militant who dumped red paint on an ICE facility here in Portland last night was just arrested. We'll get to that in one moment. But Nick was arrested, which is nuts. But let's go to a few of these clips here that Nick was posting. So 8 hours ago, there was a degenerate leftist jumped onto federal property at Portland ICE facility and challenged agents to do something about it. And so when they did, looks like he ran off. Let's check this out. Bad boys. What you gonna do? Man, those cops are fast. You know what's funny? Is you see how he walks in right here? He walks in all ghetto, right? Because his pants are low. And he thinks he's all thug, right? He thinks he's all thug. But I mean, the second this dude's boot, this right leg crosses, what you will see, these guys are all, and you could tell this guy's looking down at this right foot. The moment that crosses the line, and you know those guys in their meeting before they got put on their gear, right? And they're all sitting there in the briefing room with their hands back. And the sergeant goes, hey, the second they put anything over that invisible vertical line, you could take them out. And you know all those guys went from like this going, Sarge, what? Sarge, question. Sarge. Just want to be clear, sir. You mean the moment that nail on that big toe crosses that vertical force field, we move in. Yes, sir, that is correct. Sarge, just want to be double clear. The second that guy does it, we can do it. Absolutely. And watch. Hold on. Can we do it in slow motion? Oh, hell yeah, we can. I'm sorry, I got to break this down for you, folks. 1 second. Here we go. Watch the moment this foot. Everybody's eyes on the... Settle down. Look at... Right there. Oh, and he took a step back. He's like, no fucking way. Right? He was caught off guard. Hold on. Homie was caught off guard. Oh, I messed this up. I'm so sorry. Here he comes. Watch. He's like, this ain't happening. This dude's crazy. And then he goes. Watch. Right? Here, he takes a step back. And... Boom, baby! Oh, now the dude doesn't want to be all thuggish anymore, right? Not all hard anymore. Weird. Why is he running away? I thought he was going to square up. Oh, what's up, homie? Dude, well done, man. Jeez, those cops are fast. But you know, he's kind of caught off guard. Like if you were to go into a tiger cage, the tiger would be kind of stopped. Like, whoa, what? You know what I mean? It's stunned a little bit. Who wouldn't be? Like, bro, I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. What are you doing? So the tiger would be caught off a little off guard, but then it's going in. Do you know what I mean? You just don't expect it. So, hell yeah, he's donezo. Then you have patriots have shown up outside the Portland ICE facility holding up a sign saying, thank you for your dedication and hard work. Shout out to these people, man. Like, I hope this is not this guy's wife or girlfriend. And I'm saying this because you're putting your wife or girlfriend in danger. I would never take my significant other anywhere that puts her in jeopardy.
Well on the bar right now.
Hey, guess what? Count your days you're alive, bitch. You're marked.
Did you hear what that lady said? Again, this is the left threatening people. Just threaten to kill somebody. Here we go. Listen carefully.
Hey, guess what? Count your days you're alive, bitch. You're marked.
You're marked. You hear that? So what are they going to do? They're going to find these people. They're going to start harassing them and threatening to delete them and their family members now. This is the crap we have to do. By the way, please understand this, you guys. This all goes towards you too. Even though she's talking to this lady, she's basically talking to all of you in the chat. So we get like 1,000 listens a day. Everybody that's listening to this, please understand. They are talking about you guys. So just because it's like, oh, well, I'm not there. I'm listening to some bald guy on the internet. No, you're not. They will find you and try to delete all of you. And I'm not sugarcoating this one bit. The Democrats will try to play, oh, come on, you're being silly. Oh, stop. They're not going to do that. Really? Because they say they are. And I'm not going to take a gamble that they might not. I mean, hell, Eric Weinstein was just on Piers Morgan yesterday saying that he doesn't even want to talk about who would do what or list any names because that guy is fearful that his life's in danger. And he's not even a freaking Republican. He's a leftist. It's wild, man. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that clip for y'all really quick. We're not going to watch the whole thing. They say it at the beginning. But on Piers Morgan, Eric Weinstein is scared out of his mind as well.
You have this group of people.
So let me pause it here. We'll just watch this short clip here.
Have this group of people, particularly people, let's say in their 20s now, who've not been invited into the party of Western civilization. They are not being given the means to have babies, a mortgage, to participate in a profound way. And they're being asked to conserve a society that is more or less using them as a protein source. You mustn't celebrate Charlie Kirk's murder. It's an absolute. It's not a legal requirement that you not celebrate it. Come on, man. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your humanity? This show isn't as important enough to me that I want to endanger my family and myself playing these games. We know what morality is. We know that this is far outside it. And if you want to play with those people because you think that those are interesting ideas, that's up to you. I'm not going to interfere with your free speech. I'm not a gatekeeper.
Eric,
and as
one word I will repeat, which I would love to have answered next time, which is, ooh.
Who are you talking about?
I appreciate Pierce, and I don't think the way he treated Eric Weinstein throughout this was exactly respectful. I understand what Pierce does. I mean, he wants to get a reaction out of people, and he was trying to do it with Eric, but Eric wasn't giving in. I mean, Eric's an extremely smart guy, and I love listening to him, by the way. And we don't carry the same viewpoints, but I learn a heck of a lot from him. And I couldn't figure out why I haven't seen him in a while. I used to watch him all the time. You know, he'd be with Ben. He'd be talking to Jordan B. Peterson. He had a conversation with Sam Harris. He had Dave Rubin. I mean, this guy would have conversations with everybody. But I haven't seen him in a while. And he actually brought that point up. He said, there's a reason why I haven't been doing my normal podcast. Is because the dude is scared for his life. The people that are targeting all of us as conservatives, Republicans, are targeting him too. And I'll tell you what, this guy will put the fear in you, man, with what he's saying on Piers Morgan, because he's talking about how these people will dox you, they will find you, and they're not just going after you, they will go after your family. And we're supposed to deal with all this crap. And what are you going to do about it, you guys? You can't do anything. Oh, the guy threatens you and then he runs away. Guy hacks your account. I mean, this is where we're at, man. It ain't good. It is not a good place. And I don't think we've even reached the boiling point yet. I don't think Charlie Kirk was the peak, you guys. The president of the United States got shot in the head a year earlier and then had multiple assassination attempts still on his life, and everybody's forgot about it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated in front of everybody. People are still talking about it, but who's back to the streets assaulting conservative Republicans still? The left. It's not going to stop you guys. They're going to continue to delete us. They're going to harass us. And we're the people that are the actual victims, while the people that are victimizing us are playing the victims. It's like I said, things have been asked backwards for a very, very long time. I don't know when people stepped on the butterfly, but they stepped on it, and now we just live in a thing's ass, and now we have to live with it. And this is how you watch a country fall. This is how you watch a country fall from within. And at some point, people are going to have to rise up at some point in the future, if this continues, of people getting deleted. And I think you would see a civil war. I'm not calling for it. I don't want it, because then you have family members deleting family members. You have massive chaos. The economy is going to take a hit. Everything's going to be bad. And by the way, that can go on for years, if not however long. It could be very, very bad. But that's what the left wants, in my opinion. I think the left wants that. Why? Because the left knows that if we ever went to a civil war, that would be the end of this country. That's what they're trying to do, is destroy it. Well, what else do we have here? We went over all the big ones. The other big one here is Elon Musk is really going hard in the paint on this one. Elon Musk is urging Netflix boycott over LGBTQ plus themes in children's shows. And I believe Netflix has lost $1.5 billion in market. So we'll see here. Elon Musk has reportedly called for canceling Netflix subscriptions. I don't have any subscriptions, actually. I don't have a Netflix subscription. I don't have Disney Plus anymore. I don't have anything. I canceled all of them, man, because they're all pushing this crazy crap. I remember how I used to say, I used to go to Disneyland all the time. I haven't had a Disneyland pass in over a year. Criticizing animated series like Dead End, Paranormal Park for including transgender and LGBTQ plus characters targeted at children. It's disgusting, man. It's really disgusting. The campaign, amplified on X, has led users to share cancellation screenshots coinciding with a okay, I said 1.5 billion. This might be a typo. This might be a typo here. I think they meant to put 1.5. 15 billion is insane. Coinciding with a $15 billion drop in Netflix market value over 3 days. LGBTQ plus advocates maintain, but can someone fact check this for me in the chat really quick? Let me know if that's the correct number. Advocates maintain the context providing ages appropriate representation without sexualization, while Netflix has not commented on the backlash. And I don't have any reports if they've taken that down or not. I've said this with Disney. I've said this with all these major companies. If you have an executive that holds to an LGBTQ leftist idea, and those go together, they will cause your company to lose billions. They don't care at all. It's not their money. It's not their company. See, you as the owner or the shareholder, you have all the risk, not them. Okay, they get fired. Wow, so they go to the next company and destroy that one with their ideology. They don't care. They'll keep moving on. You're the one that gets screwed. And some people say, well, Brad, F around, find out. Sure, but I don't like when people have to find out. Why couldn't they just have left it alone? So people are canceling left and right. I mean, this screenshot that he posted 2 days ago has 95, just this alone, 95 million views. It's nuts. So here from Libs at TikTok on Netflix, the Babysitters Club pushes transgenderism on kids, shames characters for misgendering, and demands hospital staff refer to and treat a boy as a girl. What?
And if at all possible, could you find me a non-blue hospital gown?
Oh my God, dude. Okay. I'm not going to go too far into this because I know I always complain like, oh, some people break things down to its core. You don't need to. Nobody talks like this in the real world. Nobody. This is where there's a thing called the uncanny valley. And usually in film, the uncanny valley is associated with when you have CGI and they try to make a person, like say you're trying to make me in CGI, you can look at it and go, something's off. I mean, it's good CGI, it's good 3D animation, but you could tell that it's 3D. Kind of like what you saw in Star Wars where they bring dead people back to life, or most recently with Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, they made him look young again. You could tell something's off. This is like the uncanny valley, but with words. Nobody talks like this in the real world. And it pulls you out of it, and you could tell that they're trying to push an agenda on you. They did the same thing with Captain America, where they were trying to push this whole race thing between him and a bunch of cops. Like, oh, why'd you stop me? Because I was black. And then they went into a whole like monologue here of this whole thing. And it's like trying to inject the most leftist ideology they can in a way that nobody talks here in America. Now, when the left here, nobody talks, like, oh, well, it's not nobody. I mean, there's a couple people. It's like, shut up. So here we are with it. Benny Johnson is here asking for cancellations as well. Let's see this really quick.
The cancellation campaign has gone so viral, with hundreds of thousands of people canceling their Netflix subscriptions, including Elon Musk. It's the #1 trend in the world, and Netflix has lost billions of dollars in their stock. You can see right here an absolute collapse today. The reason why this is actually happening isn't your standard red versus blue political issue. It's a lot deeper than that. It's a moral issue. Have you seen what Netflix has been putting in their children's shows? This isn't like we're trying to push one way or the other. We want Democrats to win. We want like everyone likes socialism. Like, it's not like that, okay? Open borders even. It's so much worse. They're sexualizing children. It's got to be the single most radical thing you can do, the single most morally indefensible thing you can do. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to play you all the clips. I'm going to show you what they're putting into their programming. That's why this has gone so viral, because Netflix has truly crossed the line. If you believe that this is wrong, you should also cancel your Netflix. Okay, here we go. Here's the mashup of every time Netflix has put transgender, sexualized, radical ideology into their children's programming.
How about you break out those moves for your two biggest fans?
I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non-binary people.
Non-binary?
People who aren't female or male. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed.
Lexing's pronouns are they, them.
He or she just doesn't fit who I am. My apologies. Please switch.
And by the way, when you start speaking like this to kids, especially when they're trying to learn the English language, can you imagine how that screws them up in the classroom? And now they're going to be marked off for not having proper grammar if they have the right teacher, by the way. The activist lefty teacher that's a dude dressed as a woman trying to trans your kid without you knowing will grade them perfectly. Oh my God, he's the only one that got, she's the only one. Oh, yeah, God, non-binary, something, got it. Can you imagine how twisted this is, confusing the hell out of kids? It's messed up.
There, peace.
I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place.
It's Cherry Chip reporting from the wedding of the year. Everyone's favorite karate instructor, Sensei Dave, will be marrying mixed martial arts champion Jiu-Jitsu Joe.
He's the undisputed champion of my heart.
Everything okay, Fred? Well, the last time I saw my grandma, I used a different name and pronouns.
Cancel your Netflix.
Where are we at, man, as a country? You know what I mean? Hey, we put up with it. No, sorry, we don't put up with it. You do not have to have that subscription. You don't have to watch Disney Plus. You don't have to watch Netflix. You don't have to watch any of this stuff. The sad thing is there's not much for us to watch. That's why you got people like the Daily Wire trying to change the culture, create content that's good for your kids. You know, matter of fact, why don't I plug this? If you have kids, you guys, Daily Wire has a subscription that you could take your money to that's kids content that captures the best part of being a kid. Old school type of kid content. I don't work for the Daily Wire. I'm not subscribed to them anymore, only because, we got our own show to run here. That's where my money's going to, is building up the Bald Brad show. But I've been watching them since it started. I've been watching the Daily Wire. We use their content as well here. Put your money where Bentkey is at here. At least you could walk away with your kid being an iPad kid. You can watch this stuff here. Designed for kids. It's conservative thought. It's not going to be giving them trans ideology. And at least you know the stuff your kid's watching and listening to is good. Do you know what I mean? Like we all got raised up with. So it's just for one. You could try it for $1, man. Just give it a try for $1. And at least you know that it's going to an organization that pushes conservative ideology. Now, you might think, well, Ben's Israel, Ben's blah, blah, and I'm not for Israel. That's fine. Matt Walsh isn't for what's happening over there with Gaza. He works for the Daily Wire. Michael Knowles is impartial in the whole thing. So Ben isn't the one that runs the whole thing. Ben is a great, I think Ben is awesome, by the way. But there's other people that are involved there. So you could check that out. Matter of fact, let me actually link that for you guys in the chat. I'm not sponsored by them. Don't think they're asking me to do this. They're not. I just think this got brought up. Might as well push their kids' content. So you got your kid watching something that you know is great. Literally Transformers. Yeah, Krager. Yeah. Transformers talking about transforming. Yeah. With that being said, you guys, we are done with today. Thank you so much for always supporting the show. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to head over to baldbrad.com. If you want to make a donation, donations always help. Where I run the show by myself. We got a bunch of people that volunteer their time. But if you go to the donation tab up at the top, you can make a difference here, and you can do custom amount, and you can put in $1, and we get 97 cents for every dollar you do. Meaning we get 97% of the proceeds go to me, whereas YouTube takes the cut. So it's always recommended you use my website. I put the link in the description. I put the link into the chat. But head over there. You can do custom out, one-time donation, monthly, weekly, all that stuff. Thank you to everybody that supports. Not that you have to. It's there for those that want to. Appreciate you. God bless. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely weekend. And pray for those that are in poor health in the chat, and for their family members. Somebody always has something going on. The power of prayer is effective. Read your Bible. Everybody just open up Proverbs or something today. Open up Ecclesiastes or the Ephesians and just read a chapter, read a paragraph, something. Be in prayer. With that being said, love you guys. Take care. I'll see you next time here on the Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.